Now presenting Mr. Mike Coyne, Governor's Hurricane Conference Board member representing the National Weather Service.
Good afternoon, everyone. Our next award is the Tropical Meteorology Award. It's presented to an individual or organization that has made outstanding or substantial contributions to the advancement and knowledge, application, or understanding of the hurricane forecasting and warning process in the state of Florida. Since 2004, Mr. Mike Boylan has been educating people about trends, model runs, and everything else tropical weather related through his website. He does not forecast, but his dedication and contributions to the citizens of Florida and providing tropical weather information in layman's terms, helping to explain what the forecast trends mean and how to follow all the extensive maps, charts, and graphs located on his website, Mike's weather page, aka spaghettimodels.com. The 2021 Tropical Meteorology Award goes to Mike Boylan of Mike's weather page.
Just click on Mike's page, Drunk Donkey Nation. Well, there'll always be some haters, but they don't understand. Mike's got a friend and 100,000 more across the land. Well, if you want to know it first and you want to know it right and you want to have time to plan, Drunk Donkey Nation tells your friend, Mike, he's your man. And he's gonna tell you all about the wind and the rain. Gonna tell you if it's gonna be a storm or if it's gonna be a hurricane. Don't you worry about the news others try to hide. Click on Mike's page, Drunk Donkey Nationwide. Yeah, here on Mike's page, Drunk Donkey Nationwide.
All right, what's up, everybody? Good morning. Hey, there's my chat. A little bit here and there. What's cooking? Good looking. Remember that song? What? Hey, good looking. What you got cooking? All right, we are good to go. Look at that. A little bit of barrel footage from last year. Morning there, Valerie Bauer. Morning, Angel. Not we getting a lot of chat yet, but it's coming. Hope you're doing good here on Wednesday. Wherever you are, Southeast North Carolina, Laura. Morning, Ryan Anderson. Morning, Harold. How's Idaho doing? No breakfast, Laura. I'm not really a breakfast person. Never have been. But when we go camping, we do bacon. That's my tradition. Bacon and jalapenos. Hey, Julie, we got to get those vegetables again. Maybe in like little bitty pans. Remember I did that for breakfast? The vegetables in the morning? I did. Maybe that we got to get smaller pans too. Like narrower pans. See if they make those. All right. So here we are. Rotunda West. Steven, what's up? We got Texas Ralph, what's up? We got Brew Crew over there chatting away. Morning, Kathy over there. Bob saying something over there, missing. Maple bacon. Oh, okay. I like crispy bacon. You like wet, soggy bacon, or do you like crispy bacon? Louis doesn't care. Oh, morning from Myrtle Beach. What's up, Dan? Good to see everybody. Coffee and chocolate milk. I like coffee. No more milk for me. Morning, Dave from Port Richey. Good morning, Randy from Parrish. Parrish has really gotten big, haven't they? Teresa, what's up? Angel Baby, good morning. Carolina Beach. I know we got a buddy there. You know Ricky Kernoodle? My good buddy Ricky. Daytona Beach. KRJ. A lot of hype yesterday about the tides over there, but I've seen those tides reach the seawalls before. I think the winds from Imelda were more impressive with the waves than the normal tides. That's a normal thing, right? Jane, what's up? You can always tell when a post doesn't go well when all the locals chime in and say, this is normal. This is Louis, by the way, if you're wondering. Louis's been around for a long time. He's the OG. We even have a coffee cup with Louis. That'd be a great Christmas present if you'd ever get it in the mail, though. I guess, Shelly, you never got your spring order. Look at that. Look at that. That's perfect. Look at that. It almost looks just like them. See? The hat is what... the hat was a real deal. The hat was a prop for Louis. Didn't you? You know the deal. You wear the hat all the time. There you go. No, you just leave that hat on you right there. Look, Ma, no hands. I'm not doing that on purpose. You like your hat, buddy? It's a little small for you. Makes your head look big. You're such a good boy. Oh, we got some big weather coming in the Carolinas northward. Yes. Lee wants a nap. Beth, what's up? Morning, MWP family. Let's see Robert over there on TikTok. What's up, Southeast Florida? Good to see you. Hollywood, Florida. Good to see you. All right. Well, let's go into some weather here in a second. I want to bring up a map here. Let's put this on. We'll do our normal screenshot. Hey, look what season it is. Candy corn season. Can you believe it? Sarah loves these things. Julie surprised her the other day, and she had them in our little candy jar when she came home from school. She got so excited. She likes the pumpkins. All right, we'll get a few little shout-outs here, and we'll keep saying hi. We'll go right into the weather. That's what we do here. We go live tomorrow and Friday and next Monday and Tuesday. Unless I'm up in the Outer Banks Monday, we'll be live. We're heading to Talladega. Furman Power Equipment sponsoring a car. We're going to have a Saturday night party at my campsite with Patrick, the driver, and the crew. And we're going to have some fun shenanigans with NASCAR at my pit spot. I call it a pit spot. It's a camp spot. So last year they sold out of generators, but they have a huge setup before you enter the speedway on the right-hand side with a massive semi. If you need a generator, Jason is going to be there Wednesday. All right, so ABC Fine Wine and Spirits. I already seen a ton of y'all thanking them for their support. We have a lot of great supporters. We appreciate all that they do here in Florida for us, and they support a lot of charity. A lot of folks don't know about it. They're a really good family-owned company, and I'm very fortunate that they've supported me all these years. I really appreciate it. We got a couple fun things coming up I want to talk about real quick. Kim, this week, we have some special gifts from Margaritaville. I don't know how many we booked, but we're 2/3 full. But if you are itching to go on our cruise, time is running out. It's next June. But once we reach our cabin limit, we're done. We don't want to overbook our MWP group. So check it out. It's an amazing, those prices are for two people. It's not 1,500 times two. It's 1,500 divided by two. And it's a little more money in the summer, yes. But man, it's like half the price of Utopia last year. So that's two people prices, not multiplied by two. So it's $750 a person for 5 nights. And then we also have the end of the year, the first full weekend after hurricane season's over is our annual tradition of the Neighbors Helping Neighbors benefit party. This year's at Auburndale. There's details here on my website. If you click on this right here, you can go check it out. There's a Facebook event there, and there's the cruise information there. But we raised a lot of money to charity last year, over $15,000. We had a lot of fun. We had gift baskets, and this year we have a band on Friday night, a formal dinner, and And you can camp. You can bring an RV and you can rent a cabin. You don't have to camp. You can come just Friday. But you'll be hearing a lot more of that. Just pencil the date, Friday, December the 5th. Hurricane season will be officially over. We can party. Hopefully nobody got anything to worry about. As far as bad hurricanes, we know that folks in the Outer Banks right now are dealing with a lot of stuff coming up. So anyway, just got to keep announcing that because people never know about it. It's like, I know. Speaking of Buxton, so I had a lady call me yesterday, a really nice lady, local there, grew up her whole life, and they're going through a lot of stuff right now. Last year, I got a lot of insensitive comments about people in Florida. That's what you get for living in Florida. And I always came back and said, well, you can say the same thing about Carolinas with the floods. You can say the same thing about Valdosta, Georgia, for getting the worst impacts from Idalia and Helene, or tornadoes or wildfires or snowstorms, or who the heck knows, man. Everybody has something happen in the weather world, and they are getting hit right now. And they live there their whole life. These homes have been there since the 70s, okay? It's not like they just built them on the water. It's a changing landscape, but those are people's lives, you know, and they grew up there. It's home, and they're going through hell right now. So I feel bad for them, you know. Put yourself in their shoes and know what they're going through. They're just taking a lot of it's jetties and just, you know, government red tape that could probably be a little bit better for them, but that's just what they're going through. So unfortunately this weekend they got another bad nor'easter set up, and we're going to talk a lot about that. So anyway, I did talk to somebody up there, and it was nice that they reached out and follow the page, you know. So there you go. You booked a cabin, Angel. Well, that's awesome. Thank you. It's going to be fun. Patrick Emery is his name. I'm going to start posting. He's pretty good. We got a top 20 at Daytona. Cool. Oh, you're going to the Outer Banks, Kit? Well, you better watch the weather up there. It's going to be interesting. All right, so we're going to go right into weather. I'll read a little bit of comments here and there, but I like to get right into weather. Love it, Paige. Thank you, Jess, the tall girl. Are you tall, Jess? How tall is Jess, the tall girl? Season slow, yes, but we've had some pretty substantial hurricanes. They just haven't hit anybody. A couple Cat 5s and a Cat 4. Tornadoes, Tabletop Geek. Yeah, there's a chance. All right, so let's talk about the weather. So we got Jerry looking pretty ragged right now. There's some wind shear down there. That's that bubble of convection. We have an old front line. We got this spin going down the BOC. We got a lot of stuff happening in the Pacific. Nothing really long range to worry about. I just got an invitation from Southwest Airlines. So that's it. Tropics in a nutshell. Nothing. Now, we did have a new map yesterday come out. We're going to talk about this, but this is kind of not, you know, headline news, but it is. I was a little surprised, to tell you the truth. I mean, just not surprised, to tell you the truth, I guess. I don't know. But we have this map, and this map is confusing because it looks like these are areas that are highlighted for development. There are areas that are highlighted that could produce a system. These are areas that are environmentally favored to produce something tropical. Okay, I think a lot of folks see this and think those are already areas, but they're not. These are just. But what was, you know, 2 areas or 2 weeks going into the end of October. So yeah, the Caribbean, this Central American gyre, we talk about it all the time, can spit out a storm north through the BOC, which we're kind of seeing now. We can see them on the Pacific side, which we're seeing now. We just haven't seen it in the Caribbean yet, hopefully. Not yet, meaning hopefully we don't. But anyway, yeah, so we can't turn our back. Remember, tropical season lasts till November 30th. A lot of folks don't realize that. And we had Nicole in 2022, just a couple years ago. It was a hurricane in November. Okay, so it can happen. But this is, you know, just kind of keep our eyes open. There's nothing out there to stress about which is good. And until there is, we'll stress. But right now, we don't worry about the what ifs, because guess what? There will be a hurricane one day. Hit somebody. It might not be this year, next year, it might be 20 years. But you can't worry about something that's not there yet. But anyway, conditions are going to remain favorable, it appears, till at least October 31st. Halloween. Here's the current map. There's nothing. You're probably wondering why this area here is not circled, because it's not a defined tropical low. It's more of a frontal line. Jerry's going to turn, and this little area is doing that. There's no other areas out there to talk about. So how you like that? We have that BOC blob heading west. Now, like I said, we might get storms down here, but if they could almost all rotate through the Yucatan. They could go all the way to Mexico. There's no guarantee a Caribbean storm is going to hit anybody in the U.S. Historically, yes, because these front lines come down. This is what happens. You get anything that brews down here. Okay, we get a front line down here. Jet stream actually lifts our system to the north. That's the scenario that we get storms this time of year. And these storms sometimes feed into these frontal lines, and these frontal lines actually help a system organize as they approach the north. So that's the pattern we worry about. You know, historically, like I said, you look down here for the month of, let me turn off my pointer here, the month of October. And this is the areas that usually have storms because of something down here gets lifted off. Yes, Florida's highlighted more than anybody else, in the Bahamas there, and the Caymans. We have folks in the Caymans. So that historically is where we watch this time of year. So, all right, enough of that. So we have Priscilla. Priscilla is actually going to impact Arizona and a lot of the Southwest. Priscilla is going to turn and bring moisture towards the Southwest. So crazy. I don't know if I opened up my flooding map yet, though. I just did a flooding map. I need to go open it up. But we have lingering rains. They're going to linger. This juice is just going to hang out, and it floods easy out west because the ground's so hard, and you get a lot of hills, and it just accumulates, and you get a lot of flooding. So they got several days ahead to watch for some flooding in the Southwest. Here is the latest on Jerry, and we do have tropical storm watches in the islands. Could be some rain expected to turn. There you go. Latest tropical tidbit spaghetti models showing you this high confidence. Doesn't get much higher than that. We talked about the hurricane models yesterday. They did terrible with Imelda as far as track goes, and they all four were saying west yesterday, and they've finally adapted to everybody else. So mentioned that yesterday, that they were definitely outliers. They have not done good this year with tracks. There you go. Something's brewing in the Carolinas. Yes, Ashley, yes. Yes, we're going to talk about that. It's humid, Williams Strunk, yes. Jim, completely right. Bermuda and Bahamas have been impacted. Agree. I am the least person that mentions fish storms, but at least this one's not going to make a direct hit to Bermuda. There you go. All right. Rain forecast from Jerry. Jerry does not sound like a tropical storm name, by the way. I don't know. There you go. 2 to 4 inches. Millimeters, if you want to measure in millimeters. Could be some isolated higher amounts. But there you go. They need the rain. I had a couple people chime in that they are excited about the rain. They need the rain down there, these little islands. So there you go. There's that. Now let's talk about the Carolinas. Okay, there's your heavy rain from Priscilla, but we got to talk about what's going on here. We have a lot of folks watching. So this is your official hazards map, and underneath the green is high winds. So pretty much the whole green area is also high winds. That's Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and it might extend northward a little bit. We'll see, but there you go. That's the big storyline. We're going to talk about that. Posted a few things this morning. All right, first off, waves. All right, a lot of the systems has been showing a low pressure area. Remember, low pressure doesn't mean hurricane. It just means it could feel like a hurricane. David, hello. Fire pit weather. We're going to talk about the cool weather coming this weekend. So you got a lot of waves. This is big story, I think. Waves. Sunday waves. Look at, we got some big ones in Florida still. We have a front line coming down. A little low pressure is going to spin off of that, and because it's not independent of that front line, it will not be highlighted from the NAC. Now, you could argue that it could be subtropical, all that, but the effects are the same. But if it doesn't move, we're going to have days of waves. This is a Sunday wave map. Purple, unfortunately, is 30-foot seas. Now, that's not surge, but you all know too well when we have these waves and those little arrows are the wind direction, we're going to see some impacts, and we can see those impacts to the north. There's Jersey right there, southward, Delaware, into parts of Virginia there. Pretty big waves. So that's going to be the number one concern. Nor'easter, yes, but maybe a little more winds than you normally get. Maybe, I don't know, a little more fuel off of the warmer waters, the Gulf Stream. So that's, impact number one. Winds are the real question mark. I was really surprised this morning to wake up and see the Euro showing 84-mile-an-hour wind gusts in Kitty Hawk. Now, it's extreme, yes, but even the GFS is showing 50 mile an hour wind gusts through the course of this low pressure. So these are winds, man. Boston 44, New York 45. We're going to be windy. Atlantic City 64. Virginia Beach 68. These are gusts. We're going to see gusts down in Daytona and Jacksonville as this front comes down. So winds are big, and we'll look at the latest on that here in a second. But, that just gives you the idea that there's something brewing, and how close it gets to the coast will mean a lot. So FPL's in the chat. Eric Church. I'm sure you get a lot of jokes about being named after a country music singer. Yeah, I texted my good friend Tammy from OSR this morning. I would assume this might bring a lot of power outages up that way. If we do get 60-mile-an-hour winds from this. Waves in the open ocean. Yeah, it's out in the open ocean, Jim. They come down a little bit as the shallower shelf kicks in, but that makes a lot of what's happening now. It just continues that push of water towards the coastline. So, yeah, we could have some tornadoes. Yep, tabletop. We'll talk about that. I want some bacon now. Bacon healthy for you? Panama City. Carrie, you go to the Gulf Coast Jam? Uh-oh. Going to Bermuda on a ship Saturday. Well, you'll be all right. Well, yeah, you should be a little rough maybe. Big stuff's coming after you, I think. So what are we looking at here? These are your ensembles, and sometimes I'm like, why do I put these out there? Because it's like, like Bob Ross came and painted the whole thing. Good for the soul. I like that. Hey, by the way, I'll be on Fox Weather today with Bob at 12:30, I think, 12:30. So tune in to that. We're talking a lot about weather and more. Let me get a confirmed time here. I'm sure they email me. Well, they didn't email me yet. Usually email me around 10 o'clock. So All right, so what do these ensembles show? Well, let's take a look at them. So ensembles are, there's 51 members of the Euro, there's 31 members of the GFS. So you look for, like this one, that's 1 out of 31. So you don't even look at that one. That's like an outlier. So you look for consistency, you look for, patterns. Obviously, the Jerry pattern is pretty solid. So you learn a lot from the spaghetti models on that. You see all this cluster up here. What is all this cluster? Well, if you look at the cheat sheet up top, these are pressure readings, and you can see a lot of blue, 980 to 999 pressure. So that's a low pressure. These ensembles are showing low pressure, not necessarily a developed storm, but you're seeing a lot of blue and a lot of New England impacts more than likely coming from a low pressure system. And then you look here. Like, what is going on down here? Well, we're not playing tic-tac-toe, by the way. Look at that. Does anybody ever win tic-tac-toe? Like that? Let's see. Let's play really fast. I won. Does anybody play tic-tac-toe by themselves? Is that pretty bad? So we're seeing a few popping off here. The pattern we just saw with this little yellow spot. It's kind of the whole scenario of this whole Central American gyre thing, where you just have a flow of moisture down here. So we're not really seeing that many. There's 3 out of 51, right? I mean, let's say. I mean, there are some going through South Florida, yes. Some in South Florida, yes. A couple doing that, yes. So we just pretty much say, hey, we're just keeping an eye on this. You look at the operational runs, which we're going to do here in a second, and they're not really showing anything yet. So, like I mentioned before, I think I put a little bit too much into the ensemble sometimes. We got to give equal love to the operational runs too. So that's kind of what I took out of that. No more, no less than yesterday as far as watching the Caribbean. How does that sound? No more, no less. Okay, now we can look at some ensembles, as I just told everybody we're not going to. So let's go look at tropical tidbits. These are your latest GFS. Let's take a look. We're going to look for areas down here that might be popping. We're going to look at that low pressure here off of the coastline to see how low it's showing, and go from there. So here's our front line. Saturday morning, our low starting to take shape. And it gets really close to the coast, 994. And it actually goes a little to the north before it pulls out. This is that stalling effect. This is Sunday and Monday. It just lingers, and Tuesday it finally moves on off. So again, 991 pressure. Anything around 980, 990 is a lot of winds. And then we're going to look down here. Look at that. We see a lot of systems popping in the Pacific, but we're not seeing any yet in the Caribbean. All right, so let's look at the 00Z and see what it's showing this weekend on the Carolina low, 992. This one actually kind of parks over the Outer Banks on Sunday morning and actually brings it north. Same setup. So this, it's definitely North Carolina northward. Going to get a lot of impacts from this thing before it pulls on out of here. And then we're looking down here. There's a little low on Wednesday, the October 15th, and it follows into the BOC. So let's just look at 2 runs. There's no point of looking past that. Latest Euro 6Z showing a 995, 992 low, hanging out almost exactly what the GFS is doing through Tuesday. And what does that mean? It just means all these coastal impacts does a little loop-de-doop. Look at loop-de-doop, 988 pressure. Like a double, that's that double whammy I'm talking about. This is on Tuesday morning. So if it lingers up there, you're going to have a lot of days of winds and waves. And yes, you might get some storms on the top side of this thing too. That's always a definite possibility as you get any system over the Gulf or the Gulf Stream can whip in some storms to watch Sunday, Monday, Tuesday before it pulls out of here. And we're watching down here, and guess what? Nothing to October 23rd. Got a lot of systems in the Pacific, but you know, yeah, we're watching this area, but there's nothing showing to stress about. How about that? All right. Yesterday's 12Z, the same thing. All right, let's look a little more coastal action here from the Canadian, and take a look at it. It's been showing off the coast a lot more, which would be great because you would get a lot less impacts. And it's showing a tail of a line getting going. You know, we haven't seen this a lot over the last few years, but there's been a lot of years that stuff has formed and actually missed South Florida. It gets pulled up in an old front. That's always a scenario. But that's it from the Canadian. The Icon showing coastal low, 990 pressure. There's all these rains and storms. Kind of lingers, turns into Jersey a little bit, and that's as far out as that run goes. And then the 00Z run, 990. This is rain. This is just showing you the rotating storms that could be coming in, and then it lingers and kind of just hangs out there. So fairly confident on all this stuff. Okay, I mean, there's obviously rain. Let's look. I didn't open up my graphic here, but there is rain to talk about. This is big story, believe it or not, for out west. But tomorrow we're starting to see the rains from Priscilla out west, and then we're starting to see Florida back in the picture again tomorrow, Thursday. And then on Friday it's starting to slide up a little bit, but we're seeing yellow out west. Could be some flooding. This is Friday. Saturday we're really starting to see some flooding out west, but then we're starting to see yellow here. So this is the weekend. Saturday, there you go. And then Sunday, there you go. As our system might slide a little to the north. And this doesn't go past day 5. But more than likely, it's going to linger into Monday, Tuesday a little bit. There's that. How you like that? How you like me now? 3 eggs and a protein shake. Foliage, yes. Could be an issue up that way with foliage if we get all that wind. But let's see. We go a little deeper on this wind. Then I want to look at temperature. Let's do temperatures before I forget. Cold front this weekend. Now the Euro, I made point to tell everybody the Euro is usually inaccurate, but it's still fun to dream. Here's that cold front coming down. Let's see what it looks like on Sunday morning. Ooh. This is the Euro. Look at these 50s. Sunday morning. All the way to the Gulf. 50 degrees for Panama City Beach. Who's from Panama City? 58 in Tallahassee. Come on now. 60 maybe. 66 maybe for Tampa Bay. High temperatures on Sunday. Only in the 80s. What the heck is that all about? That is a rarity. The Bucks game is going to be phenomenal. 80s for a high. Let's see what these crazy temperatures show for Monday, Tuesday. So Monday morning, yeah, it's still showing 50s all the way down in Florida. I don't know if that's going to happen or not. Here's Tuesday. Backed off a little bit. But look at these little sprinkles of 50s, though. So, yeah, you know, there's a chance these 50s are going to sneak down. 60s all the way down to maybe Miami Tuesday morning. Look at all these 50s through Georgia and Talladega. We should be on our way on Tuesday. Oh, my God. We're going to be dealing with... I can be looking at my weather now. Look at that. Thursday morning, the 50s. I hope it's not hot at Talladega. I hate... Oh, that's cold. What happened? We got a front coming down? Holy cow. 40s. Julie, don't forget to pack pants. For me. But I'm saying, remind me. We're talking 40s Saturday night. I'm worried about the rain, though. Is that a cold front coming down? Rain? Well, it always rains. Talladega? It does sometimes. Oh, this can't be happening. There's 0 rain showing. This can't be happening. Are you kidding me? We have no rain in the forecast, but wow. Here's that heavy rain. Sunday, obviously showing up. We talked about that. Let's look at the individual rains for Carolinas, but that's that's some hefty little rains showing up. These are 24-hour rains. Wow. Okay, what we're gonna do now? Oh, I bought some more coasters. You know the secret to these Google ads is usually what you search is what pops up here. My coasters were a hit at Whiskey Wings, so I wanted a little thicker one. So I ordered some yesterday from this place and forgot to upload the artwork, and they almost shipped 1,000 coasters with no logo. I'm like, why would I ordered these with no logo? But they fixed it, so. But I want to look at the wins, because these wins are really incredible wins for and when we'll see when you get the worst of it. So we know there's going to be rain. We know that. Let's look at rain forecast. Here's 12-hour rain cycles here. Let's take a look at that real quick, and go from there. Let me see right here. Here's that front coming down. So we could see some rain tonight. This is the front line tonight. There's some more rain coming in off of South Florida, and it's just going to be flowing in off the Atlantic. Here's the heavy stuff setting up Friday along the coastline. Heavy stuff starts to come in on let's spread it out to 24-hour rain forecast. So there's 24-hour rain forecast. Saturday, 3 a.m. Saturday to Sunday, 3 a.m. Look at that. So really, it starts getting heavy on Friday night. Friday night, we could have 2 inches, 3 inches. This is 24-hour rain totals. Now, if this thing comes back, there'll be another round of rain. This is through Tuesday and Wednesday. But the heavy stuff will run out of juice, it looks like. This is Saturday to Sunday rains. And we could have rain all over New York from this thing. GFS, similar. Heavy rain for GFS. Look at this. This is Saturday into Sunday rain totals. Look at that. So there's through Sunday night could be some heavy rains. And there's so it all depends how close it gets, but obviously the pattern is what we're looking at, and we're seeing that. All right, let's see the winds now. This is what's really incredible, these winds. Let me turn off the pressured lines. So here's those big winds popping Sunday morning. Let's particle element measure. Just gives you an idea where they're coming in from. And so the big stuff definitely Saturday night into Sunday morning. Unfortunately for our friends here, they're going to be getting a lot again coming in from the northwest or northeast, excuse me. GFS kind of backed off a little bit. GFS a little more to the north. There's some big, these are wind gusts Sunday morning. Mm-hmm. 52 mile an hour. There's some big stuff here coming in on the GFS. Look at that, man. 67 into even New York some. This is Sunday morning, or Sunday night. This is Sunday, 7 p.m. So yeah, windy weekend. No matter how you look at it for somebody. There's the GFS. Euro keeps it a little bit more. Man, look at these winds, man. They shifted a little bit to the north, but look at these winds. Jeez. So you got the GFS and Euro both showing this nor'easter little setup here. And what's kind of interesting too is the interaction with Jerry. We've been seeing this all year long. There's Bermuda right between the two of them. So it is going to be interesting. These winds are actually kind of feeding into our coastal low from Jerry. Crazy. 10 o'clock. Mary Ann, good morning. Ocean weather. Okay, good point. It just kind of paints a picture, right, that we're going to see some coastal impacts regardless. 50s in Tallahassee, yes. Happy Camel Day. Mary, good morning. What happened to my TikToker? Oh, man, my phone went dead. Sorry, TikTok. Try to read comments over there, too. Sorry, phone went dead. All right, so we got a couple minutes here to talk about things. And I miss rain chances for Texas. That'd be a good point. I don't know. I don't think you're gonna get much out of this cold front. Here's your 7-day rain. Sorry. Nope. No rain, Jamie. BOGO storms. You're welcome, Steve. How you doing, buddy? Morning, Jackie Bush. Good morning, Ann Peterson. Cancun should be fine, Sarah. I wouldn't be stressing. Yeah, I'm going to do a little more homework, Ocean Weather Services. I appreciate that. I did not take that as an insult at all. I need to learn more about those wave maps. I just know that when they're big like that, they're big. Right? You could agree on that. And currently the Outer Banks is not seeing those wave heights that far out there that they're experiencing right now. So this is rain through the weekend. Wilmington's tough, Laura, but you saw some of those totals. Could be a couple inches. 40s, Jim, not this time around, bud. Ryan's got wood. I do too. Apparently there's a new song from Taylor Swift called that. Very interesting lyrics Julie told me about. Julianne, well, there's your rain. We kind of went over that. So, Long Island, yes, Joseph. There's going to be some wind. No one knows exactly how much yet, but it's tricky because you're going to have a high pressure to the north, and anytime you get a high pressure to the north, you get increased gradients and winds. So I think we might be talking about that a little bit today with when I'm on Fox. I think we're going to talk a little bit about the comparison to Nicole for me, because it was a similar setup with Nicole with a high pressure to the north, and we just had a constant gradient pushing winds in along with the low, and you could really see it. I remember when we were talking about Nicole forming, just take this picture and move it down south, but we had a lot of west winds ahead of Nicole that were because of a high pressure to the north. And when Nicole came in, the low pressure winds of Nicole combined with these high pressure winds, we had a lot of impacts from Nicole that were obviously magnified from Ian, but a lot of impacts along the eastern coast there. And it was because of this setup we're kind of seeing now. So these are 10-meter winds. I mean, 10-meter winds that show up like that usually indicate some big coastal winds. I mean, this is on the Euro. You know, there's a lot of winds here on Sunday, Monday, pushing in from the east. So yeah, it's gonna be windy along Jersey, Delaware there, New York, Cape Cod, maybe if it gets that far north. And it could change, it probably will, but there's definitely a lot of winds coming. A lot of winds. Winds. Woody, you're welcome. Chrissy, yeah, it is sad, and especially talking to some locals up there. You know, it's easy to sit on a sideline and critique, and but when you know there's families and people live there their whole lives, it feels bad. So, Puerto Rico, nice waves, Jennifer. Yeah, you're not going to get much out of this. A couple rain showers, maybe. But anyway, I will probably do a winter chase one time, sell out. Why not? Will it be windy in Buxton? Tomorrow? No. I mean, the big stuff doesn't really get there until the front comes back the other way. I know they're doing cleanup right now for a couple days, and then they're getting ready for this storm coming again. So I don't think anything too bad today. Front line passes through tomorrow. Yeah. I don't know, today, did you say today? Well, yeah, today's not bad, but tomorrow, this when the front comes through. This is tomorrow, 6 a.m. So today's your day. And then everything just kind of gets windy from there. Some of the extreme winds, I mean, it's just nuts. Some of these numbers coming in on both the Euro and the GFS. Anyway, St. Martin, I think you just got rain. A couple inches. I mean, worst case scenario, there's a couple models. Officially, they're not showing more than 2 to 4 inches down there. CNB probably seen worse. I'm sure you have. I know they definitely y'all out there don't like the nor'easter hype. I found that out last year, so I gotta be careful on that. Yeah, we got the king tide going on, definitely. So all right, well that's it. Got a busy day. So Fox today at 12:30. Oh no, 11:30, 12:30 p.m. Eastern. I'll do a little video this afternoon once models run, and we'll do it again tomorrow. I'll walk and talk. Walk and talking tomorrow morning, and we'll be live tomorrow and Friday for sure. All right. Fox Weather, Chris, their weather channel. Go from there. So, all right, we're going to hang out on Brew Crew for a little while, so we'll see y'all tomorrow. Have a great day, okay? Thanks for watching. As always, really appreciate it. Enjoy doing this, obviously, and we'll do it again tomorrow. All right.